Mine. It's a very important project. Her evaluator tell you why after Helen will present her speech. Helen, the lecture is all yours.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, I had 3 miraculous ideas of speeches to bring up tonight, but I restricted myself just to one. I thought, since I have to show to the honorable audience my advanced vocal variety skills, I will choose the topic of the speech I'm most susceptible to, which is the unions we share. I managed to single out 3 main unions or common areas of affiliation, which all people, without any exception, share or have in common, with minor deviations. You care to know which? Well, in my opinion, in the descending order, there are family, organization, and country. Surprisingly, while preparing this speech, I found out that those 3 major unions match with the priorities, with 3 main priorities usually people distinguish as their life priorities. Well, with these or another exceptions, but I know some of you might have doubts as to country or motherland as a life priority. But, well, believe me, there are still some loonies, in the very finest sense of this word, who do value and really value very highly the interests of motherland or country and share it as their priority. Unfortunately, I cannot bring you currently any living evidence because they all left Ukraine. Well, let's start from the first union, family. A family consists of a domestic group or a number of groups, typically affiliated by marriage, birth, or by any other analogous or comparable relationships, such as surname, domestic partnership, cohabitation, and even ownership. Well, at least in Roman Empire it occurred, but probably it occurs somewhere now. In many societies, family ties are only those recognized by law. But although many people, including even social scientists, have understood familial ties in the sense of blood, many anthropologists tell us that one must understand the notion of blood metaphorically and not only in the relation to the genetic distance. So, in whatever state, society, or epoch, family is always a group one or another human being can adhere himself or herself to. Let's come to the organization, the second union. Organization is a name for a social arrangement which pursues collective goals, which controls its own performance, and which has a boundary separating it from its environment. By the way, the word organization derives from Greek, and from the Greek word organon, meaning tool. Only after the last tree has been cut down, only after the last river is poisoned, only after the last fish has been caught, only then you will realize that bimani cannot be eaten. We still have, as for now, many trees, many rivers, and many caviar, and therefore we need money, and usually we need them to be eaten. So we either join the companies or the firms to earn money and to feed the family I was talking about before, as well as we may join the groups for cultivating the land and for raising the cattle, but this is mainly about the other union we all share, the tool we need for living, the organization we join usually. Motherland or country, the third union I want to talk to you about. Actually, I got confused while giving the definition of this last union due to the redundancy of the terms that exist. The casual use of country, state, and nation as synonyms leads usually to the confusion. For example, the United Nations is usually a body, is defined as a body made of states. And the countries constituting the United Kingdom are sometimes called the home nations or the states. So as you see, it might be confusing. But motherland or fatherland as a place of origin, as well as the birthplace of the immediate ancestors. State as independent territory, having sovereignty and population. Usually for the population, the state is the motherland. Nation, set of people with a common identity who have formed a nation state or usually aspire to do so. Nowadays, nation usually exists in the form of state. All of those terms mentioned above can be attributed to the third union we all share in common, country or motherland. All those unions I mentioned above are dependable and interacting, and the more one elaborates this topic, the more obvious it becomes. We all are the small parts of the unions I mentioned, and the more we value them, the more, and probably none of us then could say, I don't care to belong a club that accepts people like me as a member.